Redditors who had a porn addiction, how did you quit it? Limit where you have access to porn and force yourself to control that. Delete old saved nudes porn vids if you have any. Uninstall apps that might trigger you into instantly looking at porn such as TikTok, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, etc. My personal biggest thing were minimizing the triggers and being very conscious of when I was gravitating towards porn when I was only viewing it out of boredom or to boost my mood. Every single time I was horny, I FaceTimed my grandma. I found someone who I fell in love with. We weren't even together yet when I stopped, but I was so sure something would start with us. I didn't want to carry that into our relationship. With her now and am as happy as can be. I watched it all. There is simply no more left. Set up a whiteboard on my wall to count up the days, kept me accountable. I wouldn't say I was addicted, but I got a little too comfortable using porn to bust nuts and not pursue women in the real world. So I'm off porn completely and am limiting masturbation to once or twice a week. It's much easier to build sexual tension with a girl when you're bricked up than when you just watched a dime do exactly what you like. Got addicted to drugs instead. I'm not addicted, I can quit any tomb, sorry if our typos only have one hand free. I just beat it. I got married. Wife wants sex all the time, I don't have any cum left for porn. Like any addiction, except you will probably fail a few times and don't beat yourself up about it. I quit smoking by weaning off, not porn though, it's harder to quit immo. You gotta go cold turkey. Like the South Park with no internet where Andy can't jack off without porn, if you have become dependent on it, and let's face it, most guys are, you're gonna struggle to get off without it. And that's gonna be frustrating. Horniness makes people do weird things and it's gonna make you relapse. So, quit cold turkey, then the next 3 months are gonna be weird. At first you will be sexually frustrated because the status quo has changed. Jerking off might not have the climax you are used to. You are gonna have to learn to do it without external stimulus, learn to use your imagination and feel your body. If you are fully dependent, it's gonna take weeks to get off all on your own while fully hard. Your brain is learning to rewire dopamine pathways. It takes time. There is a reward at the end though, let me tell ya. My requiems are way better, my orgasms are wild, I produce way more cum, my libido has skyrocketed, and I just feel better about myself. I was porn-free for a few years and wondered, what would happen if I went back? Within 1 week I was depressed, my libido was fucked, the orgasm sucked, and I said fuck this, I'm never watching porn again. At most I'll sometimes look at still photos to get me going, but quickly swap back to fantasy land where I can imagine anything I want, still in the trenches. This is going to sound crazy, but every time I felt like watching, I'd say aloud to myself, that's weird, I thought you said you didn't watch porn? And then I'd reply to myself, oh yeah that's right, I don't. I said that easily 30 times until I stopped wanting to watch, became addicted to chess instead. I realized that I was addicted ever since I was shown it when I was about 7 to 8 years old, and that the woman I want wouldn't want a man addicted to porn. Got to improve yourself since we are all here for self-mastery. I completed Pornhub. I noticed porn was a huge limiter on my libido, funnily enough. I had just broken up with my ex, and even when I was in a relationship I didn't really initiate a lot of times due to watching porn. After we broke up, not sex related, I kinda went ham. I eventually decided that artificially pleasing rewarding myself was actually doing more harm than good, numbed my feelings toward the other gender and tried to reduce my consumption. I switched from porn to things like music videos, which feels a bit weird to admit, but I initially needed the visual stimuli. Eventually, I could mostly do it by fantasizing, and it's amazing what it does to you. I've always had problems flirting, But not having porn be a thing every single day means you can let your nature guide you a bit, and it worked out. There's a lot more opportunity for a spark to occur when you haven't fapped everything out, and this experience has been more valuable than porn could ever be. I used shrooms and LSD and it actually helped, but I was severely depressed all my life. Honestly, this may sound pretentious, but I got a girlfriend and I realized I wasn't going to be affecting just myself with the addiction anymore. Firstly, try to break the consistency. Then, gradually increase the distance between your thing periods. For example, start with 3 days and then try to extend the gap. Next, make it harder to access browser, app sub, avoid being alone, keep yourself busy with other things. And consider using an app locker with a random password for your accessible apps. After that, go offline for a while. If that's not possible, limit your phone usage to only what is necessary. Avoid all social applications and refrain from using the internet entirely, if possible, for at least 1 week. Ideally, continue this practice for a minimum of 25 to 30 days. Then ask your friend to keep an eye on you with Google Parents Control, or something like these for a 1Y. It took me 1Y 6 months to fully quit. Good luck to you. It's hard, but it will be way easier and won't take that much time if you really wanna quit.